Yo, oh, wrong scene. Let's try this again. All right, there we go. All right, we in here now. There we go. What's up, fellas? Good to be with you today on Talking Shop. My name's Josh Overton, director of Zoweh Allies, and really appreciate you guys hopping in for our live stream. Trying something a little bit new today. Going to see how it goes, and hopefully have solved some of the technical issues we've been having since really trying to launch and host this live stream every week. I really didn't know until I tried that Facebook had made some changes on what they allow in terms of live streaming, and so that's why we created the Facebook event inside of the Facebook group. But even that was creating issues, and so I believe I have a better workaround, and honestly, using some of this software that I've been more familiar with in other hobbies and things in my life, it gives me a little more flexibility in just being able to show you even, right, to share something on the screen and maintain the camera and just make it a little more engaging for you as you're watching either live or maybe you're watching the replay. And then Facebook also deletes the live streams after 30 days. And so now, at least here on our YouTube channel, we'll be able to just house these live streams. So you can go back and revisit at any point. I know a lot of times, those of you that are jumping on live, things happen, right? You're trying to squeeze it in on your lunch break, or something pops off, or you get a phone call, or kids need you for something, whatever. Life happens, and so you're kind of in and out at times. And I think with this format, not only will it'll be a little better quality, but it will also be available for you to go back and watch at any point. So right now, I don't really have any plans for this YouTube channel. You can subscribe if you'd like, just so as we're dropping content, you get notified. When the live stream goes live, you'll get notified. But this is really right now just to kind of house these Talking Shop conversations. So again, thank you for making the time. It's good to be with you. Last week, we started going through one of Zoweh's newest YouVersion plans called the Listening Well, a Guide for Men. Listening Well, a Guide for Men. And I want to kind of just jump right into it. And then I got a few things to share with you on the back end. But man, just in real life, like real life right now, I came home yesterday and had a couple things swirling around in my mind. It was a good day. It's North Carolina, so we're 50 degrees and it's raining, and not a very exciting day to be outside. So maybe it was weather induced. Maybe it was driving home from work. I've got about a 45-minute commute, and traffic was just bananas, as it always is in that time of the day, but even more so when it's rainy. People forget how to drive, and so I was probably a little flustered about that. Then I got home, and in our house, I not only do I enjoy cooking, I tend to make dinner most nights. My wife's a teacher, and so after maintaining 125 fifth graders, and then coming home, and we have 3 kids ourselves, she's pretty spent, pretty burnt most of the time, and so I enjoy cooking. I take care of dinner. Then I get home and open up the fridge and look in the pantry and realize, man, because we had a busy weekend, we didn't get into our prep like we normally do. We didn't go grocery shopping, and so I had nothing here to really cook for dinner. And so that was frustrating, because now I got to get back out and go to dinner. And it's end of the month, and so things are always for us tight at the end of the month, and just feeling all of these things, man, feeling all of these things, and I shut down. I just was very disturbed. And so yesterday, Brooke comes up to me, and she just sits, like I'm in the kitchen, I'm kind of leaning against the island, just like, bro, it's not that big a deal. Like, as my kids would say, it's not that deep, bro. It's not that deep. But it did, it felt deep. I was just annoyed. And a lot of it was my fault, because, again, like, we're busy, but I'm the one that didn't go, we're the ones, Brooke and I, we're the ones that didn't go grocery shopping. We're the ones that we weren't meal prepped. And I was annoyed by that. And so she comes up, and she leans up against the opposite counter, and she just leans in and she says, babe, what's wrong? Like, did something happen today? What's going on? And my response to her was, I really don't want to talk about it. I just want to, I didn't say this, but really what I was saying is I just want to be in my pity party for a minute. I want to be annoyed. I want to be aggravated. I don't want to talk about it. And she said, okay. And then a very cunning way, she just kept talking. She kept the conversation going. She didn't just walk away. And 5 minutes later, before I knew it, I was just sharing all of it, like, and my tone began to change, and my body language began to change, and my shoulders began, and my head began to pick up, and I just felt the air kind of come back into my body, my lungs, and I was like, holy, wow, that felt great to just share, just to have someone who listened. Like she didn't interrupt. She didn't laugh at me when some of the situations, and I'm laughing at now. She just listened. And I was like, wow, that was really good. That was really good. It feels really good, and it feels really good to get it out. It felt really good to be heard, not to be interrupted, and it completely changed my attitude. And literally 5 minutes later, I was like, you know what, it's fine. I'm just gonna run to the store. I'll take care of it. Like, we're good. And then we had a great night together. We watched the new Superman movie together. It was great. And then this morning, as I was spending some time alone with God and in my own journal, reading through this devotion today, I started thinking about, man, she did a really good job of handling my heart in that moment. I wonder, and I didn't have to think too long, how many times she's wanted that, and either I wasn't available, like I didn't make myself available, or interjected, interrupted. Well, yeah, babe, I have you. And, there's a time and place for perspective, and there's a time and place for feedback, but I didn't want it in that moment, and she didn't give it in that moment, and I just thought about how many times, man, I've been in a situation where I didn't honor that space for her to be heard. And now, as we get into looking at this study through our lens as allies, as leaders, I wonder how many times we've been in a situation, we've been in a circle, we've been with a band of brothers, we've been in a group, a Sunday school class, whatever, and there needed to be space for people to be seen and heard and not interrupted, and we were not able, the culture of our group, the culture of our time together wasn't honoring to that, right? I don't know that, I would say that I've done that way too often. Because I got something to say, right? And it's good. This is gonna change your life. You need to hear what I'm gonna say. But the whole point of this is to kind of recenter us, refocus us on how important it is to listen, and not just because it's important, but because of the result, the impact it has on people. I love in this right here. It just simple, instructional, intentional steps, right here. Let me shrink my camera. Here we go. So right here, just some intentional steps for helpful listening. Like just take note for a second. And as I'm reading this, and this is how I engaged this devotion this morning. As I'm reading this, I looked at my own toolkit. If I would open up my toolbox and ask myself, is this intentional, helpful tip for listening? Is this a part of my toolbox? Now, we all got tools, right? We've got tools that we bought it because we needed it for that specific job. And babe, I promise, I'm going to use this all the time. And we bought it and we used it for the job. And now it's sitting in the corner of our garage collecting dust. I haven't touched that thing in a year. I think as I'm reading this, that's kind of how I felt. There have been times in my life, there have been moments where I pulled this out and nailed it. But after that, it's just kind of been sitting there. And I could do a much better job at employing these tools, not just in group settings, in day-to-day conversations, in meetings, around the dinner table, at the kitchen bar, right? Pillow talk, on the couch, on date night, one-on-one with my kids, car rides with my kids. Yeah, it applies to all of that. So here it is. Some intentional, helpful tips for listening. Keep your mind and heart open and curious. Keep your mind and heart open and curious. Ask questions to understand, and honor someone, not to critique them, and respect what they share. We'll cover more of this on day 4, but that's enough right there. Like that's enough. Just this first one right here. Keep your mind and your heart open and curious. So let's just pause right there. As men, we wander. Our minds wander. We can be intaking words. We hear words coming from people, but our minds are thinking about 5 other things. Right? That Charlie Brown effect a little bit, where someone's talking off screen, and then you kind of come back, whoop, and you catch like the last 2 words. Keep your mind, I'm just going to be real practical, real specific. Keep your mind and heart open. In other words, keep it attentive. Keep it engaged and curious. Don't just work for the solution. Don't just work for how quick can I get out of this conversation. Keep it curious. You keep it curious by asking questions. Questions to understand. Questions to honor someone. Not to critique them, but to respect what they share. So a good example could be, well, tell me more about that. Someone sharing how they feel, how they felt in a moment, how this thing, this situation, these comments, whatever affected them. Well, can you tell me more about that? Like, I wonder, why do you think that bothers you so much? Why do you think that got under your skin? Can you tell me more about it? All right, it's just a great tip. Give your undivided attention to the person you are listening to. We just kind of covered that. When you are fully present and engaged, you are communicating that what they are saying matters and they are important and a valuable person. Now, I know if we had more time, every single one of us could share about moments and situations where you're talking and all of a sudden the person's body language changes, their eye contact leaves you, they pick up their phone, they're checking their Apple Watch, you're on a Zoom call or even in a roundtable meeting and it's your turn to present, but everyone else is kind of on their laptop. That's good, man. That doesn't feel great, right? So back to literally the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Listen to others the way you wish you were listened to. Listen to others. Model it. Right? We're allies. We're leaders. We're facilitators. We're responsible we're lead pastors. We're kind of the captain of this initiative. Model it, man. Listen to others the way you want the culture to be. Right? Just a good one. All right, and then engage them with your heart and body. Hold eye contact and be mindful of your body language. Are you relaxed and at ease? Are your shoulders tense? Are your arms crossed? Engage your heart and emotions. Allow what they are sharing to affect you and seek to connect emotionally with what they are feeling. Now that is spoken or written way better than even how I just said it. But that's it, man. Like, body language matters. And I think especially for men, and if men in a group or men in the home, men around the dinner table, our body language, our eye contact, our engagement or our disengagement, man, it sets the temperature of the room. It is the thermostat for the room. Especially like you that are listening to this, you're a leader. You set the thermostat. You set the you are the thermostat. You set the temperature. Listening, eye contact, engaging, heart and body, your posture. I mean, this is way different than presence. It's way different than engagement. It's way different than leaning in. So just some things to consider as you look at your own toolbox, right? So there are some great time alone with God questions right here. At the end of every day of our devotionals, just like our events, we give you these time alone with God questions. I want to encourage you to go spend some time with God, you and your journal and God, and just evaluate, right? Evaluate what's going on. Ask God, invite Him in, see what He says. See where your heart goes. See where you explore with God. That's what all this is about. So really appreciate you guys for hopping in today. We're going to do day 3 next week, next Tuesday. Let me know if this worked better for you guys. I know it's a little different than what we were doing, but so some of you guys may get this later rather than getting it live for the first few weeks as we make the adjustment. But on my end, it's working much better. So I'm probably going to roll with this. You'll have access to this, like I said, until forever. It's not going to get deleted like Facebook. So last thing I want to tell you for today, is if you are an ally, which I'm assuming you are if you're on this call, or an alumni of one of our events, registration is open right now for the Heart of a Warrior in April. I think it's April 16th. Let me just double check. April 16th through the 19th. Boom, that's right. All right, so April 16th through the 19th, registration is now open. And so here's what's great is you guys, as an ally, you guys get early access. So we're not opening it up to everyone until later in November. So you guys get access now to go ahead and set your group up, reserve your spots. It's going to sell out. It's going to fill up. I want to give you guys early access. And anyone that you're planning to bring with you that it may be their first time, you can get them signed up. They can sign up underneath your group. And so if you're planning on coming, you're planning on bringing some guys, I want to encourage you to go ahead, go to zoweh.org/events, sign up, set up your group, and that way anyone that's coming with you, especially if they're new, they can go ahead and get access to reserve their seat now. And of course, as always, if you are an alumni and you're interested on being on our conference team, you know that you get a registration discount with that. But make sure you apply to become a conference team member, which is on the website that I just told you to go to. Apply to the conference team first so that you can get the discount code. If you register for the event before you apply to be on the conference team, well, then you've already paid the full registration, right? So sign up, set your group up, and if you're interested on being on the conference team and being a part of helping us pull this incredible event off, just know that as our way to honor that, we want to give you a discount, but we need you to apply to the conference team first. All right? I will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for hopping in. See you.